Hey everybody, we packed up the TJ, and that's Caleb, and that's Miss Angela, and I'm Chris. We're going to Big Creek today. Come along for the ride. But first, we need food. So we met up at the Uwharrie Training Center, which is right across the street from the El Dorado Outpost. We arrived at about 9 o'clock, which was on time for us. That's pretty good. And little air down, little driver's meeting, got to meet the property owner, and then we headed off woods. Now, Big Creek, how can I explain this? It's wet, but only when you're going down. When you're going up, it's kind of dry, but your tires are already full of everything. Mud, leaves, water. So it's a difficult place. It is definitely a technical place to drive. Now, this is the same place that the Jeep Jamborees use when they come into town. So we're pretty fortunate to get on these trails today. Now, there are only about 7 miles of trails in the park, but it makes for the perfect day. You can either do the hard stuff in the morning or the hard stuff in the afternoon and do some easy riding. Now, even the easy riding, especially we've had a bunch of rain lately, not so easy, as we came to find out. We were super fortunate. We got the trail ride with a brand new Bronco, and Miss Cindy only had 5,000 miles on this thing, and it was mint and fully loaded, all the buttons. It was pretty neat. And we got 2 392s that joined us. I mean, just listening to them all day does not get old. A couple of good Cherokees, JKs, LJs, the mix, and of course, we brought the TJ out. And yes, Miss Angela drove her Jeep most of the day. Now, we learned at our driver's meeting that most of us had not been here, and that was a pleasant surprise. It's always nice to ride with people that haven't done things before and they're experiencing it with you for the first time. And yeah, this was our first time here too. So it was a blast. And we had no idea today was going to turn into a winching and recovery class, because it was a little slick out there today. And we got to learn some new things today. I've never picked up a tire with a high lift and then drove it off, but proved it could be done. I've also never had a stationary vehicle at the top of a hill that had a winch 80% of us up the hill, because it just got so deep of leaves. Oh my goodness, we should have brought the leaf blower out today. But Big Creek has a little something for everybody. If you want to do the rocks, there are some rocks. If you want to do some technical trail driving, and what does that mean exactly? That means dodging trees. Plain and simple. There are trees everywhere, and they will reach out and bite you. Now, I wouldn't consider anything that we saw today at Big Creek hard. It's challenging, and I think even if you don't have a winch, you would be just fine coming here, because there are bypasses for literally everything. Now, the bypasses, they're not easy, but stock vehicles could probably get around here as long as they have some ground clearance. We heard some stories of some G-Wagons up in here a couple weeks ago, and let's be honest, they're not known for their off-road prowess, but they got around just fine. And the trails aren't super rutted out, because side-by-sides don't come here very often, and it's so nice to drive down trails that are not rutted out from side-by-sides. If you know, you know. Now, this brings us to our hill climb, and dang it, there were some leaves on this trail, and it was muddy at the bottom. You had to trudge through the bottom, which, remember, if you're going down, it's wet, and yep, in typical fashion, you had to cross some stagnant water and some pretty thick mud, and then you started up this hill, and it just kept getting steeper and steeper. But what a blast. I don't know about you, but when I get to use my winching stuff, I'm a happy guy. I hate that it just sits in there all the time. I like using the stuff. Like, a good day of wheeling is solving problems and getting out there and using all your gear, and today was definitely one of those days. I had the big bag out with the soft shackles and the hard shackles and the winch cable pulled out. Yeah, I was enjoying myself a little bit today. another plus for today was definitely the attitude of everybody there. And, Jeep people are just built a little differently than other people, I think. The camaraderie, the solving problems together, everybody jumping in to want to help, it's nice. And it's also nice that, sometimes you let your trail guide be the leader. I'm not a big fan when people jump in and take over. I'm way on board for people wanting to help, but I was very thankful today that we just had a great bunch of people out there. And when the trail got a little tough and everybody's standing around, everybody's talking to each other and just enjoying being outside. Now, it was not warm today. We were very happy that we took our beanies and our jackets with and dressed on the warmer side, but our Armor Light floors in that TJ today, oh, boy did they keep us warm. That may end up being our favorite purchase so far.
Oh my gosh, what are you doing? Stop!
Let's go.
What is your job here, sir?
Holding the winch line and hooking people up.
Wow. Nobody can make it up this hill without you.
Nope. Let's go.
Now, yes, not everybody needed the winch today, but you wouldn't believe the amount of rocks we threw in those holes. And finally, the leaves were gone, and yeah, if you gave it the skinny pedal, it rewarded you with a free ticket up there, no winch required. Now it was time for our second winching class of the day, and when you send it a little too hard, sometimes you get stuck. Stuck on top of the rocks. Yeah, we had one turtle a little bit today. No big deal. We got it off. What can I say? Another winching class.
Let's go.
And yeah, look, all of that before lunch. And the plan after lunch was to do the easy trails, which turned out to be the moderate trails, because it was just so muddy. But I didn't hear nobody complaining. Everybody had a great time. This is the portion of our event that we did the technical driving, aka dodge the trees, and yes, they move into your way. It's at this moment that I'm yelling into the GMRS, "Stop!" Oh my goodness, Miss Cindy, she had such a time with this big old Bronco of hers. Now, it did everything she asked it to do. There were just some places it was a little tight to get into. But lucky us, yet another winching class was about to take place, because that tree was kissing the side of that vehicle, and we did everything we could to make sure that this Bronco didn't leave with a scratch today. Now, the only problem we ran into was our TJ for maximum effort. It gave its maximum effort, but it just wasn't heavy enough. That Bronco was a beast, and Max just got pulled around by the winch. But it was enough to pull that body away from that tree so she could get it straightened out and we could get it through. Success. And that was our day. We were exhausted, but we had a great time. So, Big Creek, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. We'll definitely go back. And if you guys haven't and you're in the area, you should definitely go over to Facebook and check out Uwharrie Woods and Water. And Mr. Shannon runs that page, and he was our trail guide today. And you should follow him and that page. Maybe I'll see you at the next ride. Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching. Go anywhere. Do anything.